Hey everyone, welcome to Unicorn Dust Designs. My name is Sammy. I'm a hot mess. Hi, how are you? I'm a crafter too. You guys, we need to get rid of a stash that I've been hoarding over on the side, kind of front of my craft table. I'm going to turn you around. This is the hoard. I'm going to turn you around and show you what we have to get through at some point, whether we make it fall, Halloween, Christmas, we are going to get through it. So let me flip. Okay. This is like my stuff that I've gotten and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to DIY that. And it goes all the way around, you guys. It goes all the way around, okay? And I'm going to get through this pile. I am. You guys know what I'm talking about. We're going to get through this pile, okay? If it takes us a month, it's going to take us a month, but we're going to get through it and we're going to start right now. Start off our pile, you guys. Look at this guy. This is like, I need to clean. He fell off and then Hank stepped on him and now he's broken, you guys. This is why we need to clean the hoard. So I got these little risers at Savers for $1.99. Hello, score. I didn't even have to paint them. I thought about painting them, but you guys, I'm not going to paint them. And then I realized that they were actually wood. They weren't like an MDF. So I sanded them down, distressed them like around the edges with my sanding block and then on the top as well. I am finally going to use the stamp, you guys. This was from the spring collection. It is Folk Story, I think it is. And it's amazing. Now with any new stamps, you guys, make sure you buff it out with a sanding block. If you do not, what happens is the ink kind of just like lays on top of the stamp. And then when you go to apply it to your surface, it kind of smears a little bit. So you want to prep it. I'm going to use stone gray for this piece right here. And I am just going to apply it and then we are going to flip it on around and we are going to press down with our hand as we smooth the surface down with our nails. Now, you guys, I just want to not apologize, but just I am doing very easy projects for us right now because that's all I'm capable of. You know, I'm trying to get back here. I'm trying to get back onto YouTube and back to crafting. And right now, all I'm capable of is easy and fast DIYs. If you guys want to see more of my detailed work, I have plenty on my channel where I'm using molds and I get real fancy. But right now, we are kind of going back to the basics and doing very easy and basic items. For this second one, you guys, when I first started, I don't know if I saw somebody do this, but I decided to cut all of my crockery stamps off. I cut them like in sections. I don't know why I did that, but do not do that. Do not do that, you guys. I'm going to place all of my crockery stamps. I'm like playing Tetris over here, lining things up, trying to figure out where they go. Now, if you did not cut your stamps up like myself, then you can literally leave them probably on the sheet and ink them up and just put them on down. But that was not the case for me. So I had to master this. Once I did that, I'm going to grab my stamp mount. I have these available on the website and I love them because they pick up big areas like this one. And that way you're not having to lay a stamp down one by one. Then I'm going to take China Blue. And it's so weird because I was going to ask you guys literally when I was editing, I was going to say, hey, you guys, does this show up bright blue for you like it does me? But after looking at it, after I sealed it, it does dry down dark blue because look at how bright it looks, right? And then when I apply it, so lay down your stamp mount, you guys, hold it down with one hand while you get your other hand and you rub the surface. You can use a brayer, but I feel like my hands work a lot better. And then lift that baby up. Doesn't that look so cute? And you guys, I just sealed these outside. That's probably why I forgot to film. I just did Clear Matte by Rust-Oleum. And here's how they look. This was such an easy flip. They were in great condition. They were already white. And it was so easy just to take a full stamp and put a little decoration on them to just bring them up a notch. Which one do you guys like more? Okay, for this one, you guys, I'm using an old box and I contemplated going back and forth, painting, not painting. But for me, I love vintage items. I love this old wood and I don't want to cover it up. I like that it is old and beautiful and all the things. So I decided to keep it as is. We are going to take one of the brooches mold And I'm going to take one of the pieces from the Roy Cycled Catalog decoupage paper. I believe these two items are in stock on my website, linked in the description box. But first we need to paint the brooch. So I am taking Eden, and Eden is one of the newer DIY colors. Y'all, next time I order, I'm going to stock up on this because this is going to be the go-to color for Christmas. This and Marquee are going to be absolutely stunning. So I am taking a little detail brush and I am going to get all of those beautiful details covered. It only took me one coat of this paint for coverage over the white. We are going to leave the middle of this brooch white because light is the way to go when applying decoupage paper. Now I'm going to take this beautiful Victorian scene. They're on horses at the beach. I'm going to lay it over that brooch, and then I am going to take my fingernail and rub the inside rim. This is going to give me a guideline as to where to remove the excess paper. Now, some people use scissors. I don't like doing that because then I feel like the unevenness of the cut shows so much more. So I get a wet paintbrush, I go around the outline, and then I start pulling outwards, pull away from the image. And this way it's less noticeable if you have an uneven cut. Once I get that all removed, I'm going to grab my liquid patina. And if you guys have not tried liquid patina, it would be like a version of Mod Podge, but it is a thinner consistency. And you guys, I never have bubbles with liquid patina. It is a must-try product if you do decoupage. So I am going to coat the surface of the brooch with the liquid patina. Then I kind of press it down with the paintbrush. I'm going to go ahead and grab some plastic wrap to smooth my paper down, which you should technically do before you apply the liquid patina to the top of your paper, but it still worked. But you do run the risk of ripping your paper, so just note that. So after I'm done smoothing it out, I'm going to coat the entire thing with liquid patina, seal that paper in because we don't want it coming off. And then I'm going to also cover the entire brooch. So I'm going to seal all of that paint as well. Once that completely dries, I'm going to grab the dark and decrepit liquid patina. You guys, I've had this same container since I first started using DIY paints, so it lasts a long time. I'm going to use this as a glaze in this instance, okay? You could use it as a glaze, a stain, so many ways of using this. And I'm going to coat the entire brooch. So it's just kind of sitting on top of the surface. And I wanted it to look a little bit more worn and weathered. And I wanted like the picture to almost look like it's been stained. Then I take my paintbrush and I just dab that off. So this is where using it as a glaze comes in. Once that's completely dry, I take my gold wax and I'm going to brush that just with my finger onto the brooch. And this just kind of looks a little bit more weathered and like it's been distressing over time. And if you guys wondered where gold wax has went, I can still get it, but if you see, for some reason, they started making it a little differently. It's the same ingredients, but for whatever reason, this is how it comes now. And I didn't feel good about getting it and sending it to you guys and then you thinking something was wrong with it. So I stopped ordering it, but it is an option. So if you guys are like, I don't care, get it, make sure to comment down below. But you can see right here, it used to be, if you saw my container previously, it used to be like a butter texture. Now it's almost like a thick paint. I mean, you could still dip your finger in there if you wanted to, but you can see it's not the same texture as the other waxes. So let me know in the comments and I could always grab a few on my next restock if there are some of you that still want the gold wax. All right, you guys, so let's move on. Now we're going to take some Tite Bond Quick and Thick. I put far too much glue on here. I'm going to take my paintbrush, designate a paintbrush for the glue, you guys, because it ruins the bristles. And then we are going to spread that out. I like to apply it this way because one, I make sure the coverage is all over the mold. And two, if I were just to like put it on there like I previously did and put it on my box, that glue is going to just push out under my mold and be a mess. So I'm going to lay this down. It was definitely not centered. So I had to push it over, and to get the excess off, I just grabbed another paintbrush and started pushing away the excess glue. Then I just let it completely dry. I didn't have to do anything else to it. And here is how she turned out. I love this. You can use it as a vignette. You can use it to actually put things in. And I love that I kept this in its original state. It is old, the wood is beautiful, and it looks so good with the colors that were chosen. Oh, love that one. Okay, you guys, I had these wood shoe form shoe forms forever. I tried to sell them in a couple shows. Nobody wanted them. So they ended up on the side of my desk, and we are painting them. I'm going to do one of them in Monet's garden. One of them we're going to keep its original wood, and one of them I painted in black velvet. With the black velvet one, you guys, I decided to use the foil transfers. I wanted it to be fancy. But foil transfers are a little harder to use because you really have to push down on them. And I was doing this on a curved surface. So needless to say, I had to put this in my lap to really have control over it. But it did come off. It did work out, and it does look fancy. But it was definitely not the easiest task to do this. After I was done with this one, I moved on to the Monet's Garden one. And you guys, you will not see this in the reveal because it went back into the stash. I tried putting the transfer on and it would not stick. Not stick at all. And this can happen, you guys, if there are like oils underneath the paint that are coming through. And that is what I'm thinking, because what happens is you put the transfer down, and as you're pushing down and like pulling up on the carrier sheet, the paint is coming up with it. So I probably should have primed the wood first, then painted, then used my transfers, and I probably wouldn't have had that issue. But you just never know. So the next one was going great. It was going so good. Look at how cute this frog is. And for those of you that are not familiar with transfers, all you got to do is push down on its carrier sheet as you're lifting up on it. Once you get that transfer down, you're going to take that carrier sheet and you're going to burnish it. That means you're going to rub that carrier sheet on the transfer, making sure that it is pressed against the surface and adhered. I took one of his little feet off, you guys. It was a sad moment. And then I decided to take this larger image and put it on the other side. And this one worked out very well as this one worked out well. There were some spots where the transfer did not want to stick, but that's okay, because when I'm upcycling these vintage items, I do not necessarily look for perfection, because then it doesn't go with the age of the item. Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? But on the other side, you guys, the transfers did not want to stick. There must have been oil on these. I'm sure people used oil or something in their shoes as they were like stretching them, and I don't know, but it did not want to stick to the other side, but that's okay because I used a big enough image on the other one to make up for it. So then I cleared both of them with liquid patina, and I like using the liquid patina because it gives you a matte finish versus Big Top, which is going to give you that little bit of sheen. And here is how the black velvet one turned out and what you would use it for. So these are great for holding ephemera, old pictures, bingo cards, I mean, whatever you want. Or I'm sure you can find another way to display them, but my vision was to use them for ephemera. And then they have these little cute stands, these little wood stands, pop the picture back into the middle. Super duper cute. And then here is the wood one with the little floral butterfly. You got the little froggy, or would that be a toad? I don't know. And then you can use this one for the same thing. You can grab some ephemera and you can put it in there, or this one has like a crazy hook, so it could be hung. So beautiful ways of incorporating vintage
Now,
into your decor.
you're gonna help me get ready for booth and cells. Not that my DIYs don't, but like there's specific things that like I want to do either for my booth or for whatnot to help things sell. My mom found these at the thrift store. They're like little apothecary jars with corks in them. I had them out in my whatnot cell and nobody was interested. So now we're gonna make people wanna buy them, right? How is that? Let me show you. Very simple way. Very simple. If you guys have these, I always find those, not these specific ones, but in the bag section at Savers. But you can use any of the jars. We are gonna use, I think there's only one set of numbers right here. Let me see. I'm like, do I want to? I feel like these numbers are really small, so we might double them up. Let's see. Let's see. Where did my little, oh, duh, it's right in front of me, you guys. I don't even know. We could put letters too, but I will tell you that numbers are very hot. Very hot. I'm not joking. Let me see. I'm going to do, I don't know. We're going to just pick a random. I'm gonna pick 87. 87. Or no, I guess 78. No, 87. Remember, we gotta go backwards here. We gotta go backwards. And I'm just gonna try the, I feel like established would make the tag too big, maybe? Maybe not. Let's try it. I don't know. We're just trying things. But numbers are very, very hot. Like anything with numbers sells very well. And then especially when you have it in the context of like you pick one, then people want first dibs at, you know, the number that they want. Let's try, this one's already cut. No. Let me see this one. Okay. We're gonna just see here. I've resorted to like my, I don't know, this, I don't know if I like this. I don't like it. I don't like it. Maybe, but remember, yeah, you guys, we have to crumble it up. Okay. All the dead stuff will cut out now. See, I think I put this too close to the top of this established. Oh, where are you? Oh, almost falling off. You came out. That is because my son was in here. There we go. Super cute. Established 87. That could be 1887. That could be 1987. I mean, whatever. Whatever.
Guys, I couldn't do it to you and I couldn't do it to myself. That was hard. That was so hard. We ain't doing that again. Okay, so let's speed this up here. I did a couple other images. I did the fingers pointing the opposite ways, which looks super cute. I did a number 31, and then I did Roman numerals. For some of the tags like this one, I made into a tag shape by cutting off the edges. The little poker tool I got from Dollar Tree, I just stick it on in and then kind of wiggle it around to make my hole bigger. Now my twine I did get from Amazon, so it is thinner and easier to put through versus the Dollar Tree twine, which is kind of like fuzzy. You would probably need a bigger hole for that one. But I just string it through and then I tie it in a knot first. This helps keep the tag in place. And then I just tie it in a knot and that is it. And then I decided at the end I wanted to take my stamp pad and go around the edges of the little tags just to darken them up and make them look a little bit more aged. But it's so crazy, you guys, because something just this small can really elevate a project. And these turned out so cute. I love how they look with all of those neutral buttons and the corks up top. And they remind me of like little Alice in Wonderland. Like I said, they're so adorable. So I think, I don't know where I'm going to sell these. I guess I'll have to think about it. I don't know.
Okay, we got a whole, we got stuffs going on here. Okay, you guys, now I found, look at the old flashcards. Oh, I love them. So people use these for ephemera and they're like flower frogs. And I didn't want to sell them as singles in my booth because I would have to package all of them individually and then put a tag on them and all of that. I got these. This is where we go into profit too. I got this whole thing for $4.95. I'm going to group them into 5s. Okay. It's my friend Sarah's favorite number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, maybe I should save this for Halloween. I'm gonna save that one for Halloween because lucky 13. So we're gonna group them into 5. I'm just gonna grab fabric. And like I was saying, sorry, I interrupted myself. I got that whole pack for $4.95. I'm going to group these. I don't like how the other side is like straight. Let me do another one. I'll still save that one though for something else. Sorry. Easily distracted, you know what I'm saying? That's why I have all these half-finished projects. I am gonna sell a pack of 5 for $3.95. After 2 sales, I've already made my money back on this whole box. So I'm gonna be making a great profit from that one box. So I'm gonna just tie this right here. And then I had these little random, it's called baby breath pick, I guess, from Mainstay. I got them at a church rummage sale. I'm gonna cut the little ends off of it. And then these, you can put flowers in here, whatever it is. This is great for those that like do the craft shows, if you have a booth, or if you wanna use them in your home as decorations. Maybe you sell on Etsy, tons of options. And then, so I'm just holding it in with my finger, and then I'm gonna tie it in a knot. And if I need to, I could push these through, and you can do like a little knot if you want, or we can tie it into a bow, which I'm gonna do. And then you can use all different fabrics, you guys. You can use lace, you can just use twine. It doesn't matter. But this is something that's super easy. And if you're able to find these flashcards at a great deal, then that is just sheer profit, sheer profit. And they get 5 of them. It's already decorated. They can take them apart, use them in their flower frogs or their home decor as ephemera. And it's super easy to do, and it's something for me that like I could get the kids involved in and do like an assembly line. So hopefully that inspired you to look for these. I got these at an antique mall, you guys, $4.95. So don't think antique malls are high, just for high priced items. They definitely are not. So I don't know if I'm gonna sell these on Whatnot or my booth. They're so darn cute. They remind me of Alice in Wonderland almost, especially like the finger one. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If I think of anything else before I start editing this video, we'll do it, okay?
Can't think of anything else, you guys. So here we go. I hope you guys got inspired by this video. I know it was super easy, but some of us, that's what we need right now. So thank you guys so much. Make sure to leave me a comment. I love reading them.